am I an a-hole for kicking my brother and his wife from my house? My wife, 31 years old, and I, 30 years old, had a baby 4 months ago. My wife has been suffering from PPD, and she had a lot of breakdowns here and there, and it was just so heartbreaking to see. I decided to give her a day to herself and take care of the baby, so I took a small leave from work, gave her my card, and told her to do what she needs to do for herself. My brother, 35 years old, and his wife, 34 years old, came over the same day. She was out for a visit and asked me where she was. I told them she was out doing her own things, and they asked why I was babysitting the baby. I told them it wasn't babysitting when it's my own child, and I was giving my wife some time to herself. My sister-in-law scoffed at me and told me she should be home like a good mom, and my brother laughed and agreed, saying that taking care of the baby is easy. I got pissed at him and told him, of course it'd be easy for you because you live as mom, so you could just dump the baby on her. He and his wife got pissed and started yelling at me, so I kicked them out and told them to never come back unless they apologize. I told my wife about it, and she was sad that I fought with my brother because of her, but I reassured her that I didn't care because she was important. I got a call from my mom saying she agreed with me, but told me I was a bit harsh for what I say to him, and I can't help but feel like an a-hole for that. Update. Hi everyone. I just wanted to thank you for the feedback and thought that I'd also update you a little on what happened. First off, my wife has been doing great. She looks as happy as the day we found out we were having a kid. I give her the weekends to herself, considering those are my days off. I still help her with our child when I get off from work. Second, my mom called again to ask what really happened between my brother and I, because apparently he only told her that I kicked him out for saying I was babysitting my kid. So I decided to give her the full story, and needless to say, mom was pissed. Our mom was a single mother who raised both my brother and I, so she was beyond pissed that he would say something like that about my wife. Next thing I knew, she was telling him and his wife that they had 30 days to pack up and leave. My brother called and went off on me for apparently making him and his wife homeless. I just hung up because I wasn't going to deal with him anymore. My wife and I are planning a small vacation to visit her parents soon. My mom is coming with, and she's really excited for them to meet their grandchild. Thank you everyone, and take care. I am considering leaving my wife because of her weight. Alright, before I get called an a-hole, let me explain. I love my wife. I think she's incredibly beautiful, and even more so after she gave birth to our son 3 years ago. The problem is that she put on a good amount of baby weight, obviously, and never lost it. She instead started to gain more weight and was overall pretty depressed. I initially assumed it was PPD and suggested she go to therapy for it. She went to therapy and got some antidepressants. It took her a while to find the right ones, and she's been fine mentally since she found them. Physically, it's a different story, however. She has continued over the past 3 years to gain weight. The problem isn't anymore that I'm not attracted to her, but she will die if she continues to gain weight. She's currently about 250 pounds with a BMI close to 50. I don't know what I can do. I feel like I've tried everything. I've asked her to go to the gym with me, go on a diet with me, not buy fast food, have some active hobbies. She's turned down every single one of these ideas. I feel like I don't have any choice but to give her an ultimatum. Either she genuinely tries to lose the weight or I leave. I can't watch the woman I love and mother of my child slowly kill herself. I don't want to be the dude who gives an ultimatum, but I see no other choice. I guess I just wanted to ask if I'm being an a-hole or if there is any other way I could go about this. Edit. For everyone in the comments telling me you can be overweight and healthy, you're right. But no, you cannot be obese and healthy. At least not long term. Heart disease runs in my wife's family, and while your weight might not affect you, being overweight is directly linked to heart disease. I understand weight loss isn't easy. I used to be overweight, but my concern isn't that she's not the same way she looked when we got together. It's that she may not live to see our son become a teenager. Update. So I made a post about 5 months ago because I was getting past the point of no return with my wife's weight. Now, expectedly, I got called an a-hole and other bad words and every other name under the book for even mentioning it. But I also got some real good feedback and decided before I made any real decision, I would sit her down and let her know how I was truly feeling. Because at that point we had multiple conversations addressing it, but none of them lead anywhere. So after we put my son to sleep, I asked my wife if we could talk for a moment in the kitchen. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the conversation was probably the hardest one I've ever had. Because despite what everyone believed, I do love my wife. Now, I don't want to get into every detail, but the basis of the conversation was that I needed her to at least try and be healthier. I also think she needed to hear how serious I was about this. And when I told her I was even thinking about separating, I think it really put nail in the coffin. It's been about 5 months since then, and I'm proud to say my wife has lost 35 pounds. I am so proud of her. It is ridiculous. The first month was hurdle and a half, but now she is going steady and losing weight at a healthy, moderate rate. Recently, she even started to exercise with me. In the morning, I usually jog, but since her knees are somewhat short 3 days a week, we go walk a mile or two together and either talk or just listen to music together. I know it sounds corny to say, but she even seems happier and her confidence is coming back as well. Well, this was my little update, and I wanted to finish it with thanking anyone who actually gave me advice on my first post. Am I in a hole for telling my husband I'm leaving him when he was in the middle of a meltdown? My husband and I have been together for 8 years now. I have 2 sons from my previous marriage, 13 years old and 9 years old, and I just gave birth to me and my husband's daughter 3 months ago. Prior to me giving birth and even a few weeks following, our home life was great. We often had friends telling us they wish they could find someone that made them as happy as him and I made each other. There was hardly even any disagreements. Our communication was solid. He was fantastic with my boys, attending every parent-teacher conference, doctor's appointments, school event, etc., and took them out often to play baseball and basketball. This all changed after maybe 2-3 weeks after I gave birth. He turned angry, depressed, and impatient. Me and my kids started having to constantly walk on eggshells. He became lazy, such as stopped cleaning up after himself or helping around the house. Yet, still, his sentences to my kids such as, "You girls need to pick up after yourself. Me and your mother shouldn't have to follow you around and clean up your messes." When he never cleaned at all, I couldn't even get him to wash his own dinner plate without him having a meltdown, basically. Every day he was just angry. If one thing went wrong, like him not being able to find something, he sat down somewhere, which became an everyday event. He was freaking out, saying things like, "Yup, awesome, so glad life wants to screw me over," or "Why does this always happen to me? Can't I just have good day for one?" But he always made it me and the kids' problem. If he lost something, it didn't matter what time of day it was. He was 100% flipped out and expecting me to find it for him. I even told him my oldest son had to go to the ER because he had a bad rash, and he goes, "Have your mom take him," because he was using my vehicle. Or the other day, my mood has been soured due to his early morning freak out, and it out me on a rough road. I was exhausted, running on 3 hours of sleep, and he rushed me out of the house to go do his errands with him. I didn't even get out of the car, so it was pointless, and then gets pissed and screams, "What is your problem? Can't we just have a good day for once?" As if I am the reason his life sucks, and this is not the man I married. So last night around 11:30 p.m. he starts freaking out again. He lost an important item he needed for work. He starts slamming things around our bedroom, repeatedly saying things like "great," "absolutely awesome," "love it," until I get up and start helping him look. As soon as I get up out of bed, he stops looking and just walks behind me holding his phone's flashlight. We can't find it. He doesn't go to work as a result. Another trait he's gotten since giving birth, he literally calls out over the wind blowing wrong. I lay back down. He practically body slams the bed beside me, starts huffing and puffing, heavy sighing, growling while practically clawing at his face, talking about how stupid this life is. I ask him to stop and he says, "F you." So I tell him I'm done, I'm leaving, and that me and my children's will be out of the home by today. He says, "What the F ever," and goes to sleep. I wake up at 5 a.m. and start packing. He comes out around 7 asking what I'm doing, and I tell him again that I'm done and I am leaving. He says I'm leaving him in his time of need, and he would never do that to me. But he kind of did, because I was diagnosed with PPD not even 4 days after giving birth, and he completely overrode it and made it about him and how much his life sucks. Example, I know you're feeling some type of way, but I have it going on too. No one asks me how the F I am, or literally making passive-aggressive comments like "wish I could sleep all day" when I was 6 days postpartum. After I fell asleep on the couch, he does no nighttime duty. As I said, he says I'm leaving him in his time of need and that I should have urged him to get therapy instead of walking away. But his anger has made me hate him. I don't even want to be near him. Edit. I'm just going to reiterate what I've said to some commenters. I have tried talking to him about this. It's an immediate blame shift the second that I bring up anything that is bothering me. He says I'm attacking him. Says things like as if you don't have issues that I have to deal with every day. Tells me it's all in my head, and has even called me a narcissistic quite a few times in the past 2 months, claiming that I'm accusing him of things because things aren't going my way. Often says he does everything and that me and my kids, don't respect him. So I have tried talking to him. He's completely defensive and refuses to actually speak on issues, outside of one single time when he was drinking and admitted that he's been a hole and that we don't deserve to be treated this way. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.